Neville's has a appalling taste in tobacco. It's an insult to the patrons.
Men in their condition probably can't tell the difference.
Nonsense. They're enervated, Watson, not dead. Though they soon may be, given what they're smoking. Who are the habitués of this spa, Watson?
I've heard the young Turks from Whitehall are trying to invest the place with an aura undeserved by its merits. They may be joined by old India hands who simply crave the heat.
Not a self-indulgent crowd, then?
Not necessarily.
How does Russell strike you, Watson?
A bully with a patina of gentility. Your inquiry puts...
Can you envision Pratt wasting away in such a place?
Without difficulty. Given the style of his digs, this would suit him down to the ground. Perhaps a little on the tame side, but suitable.
I earnestly counsel you, Watson, to touch nothing.
Your concern is appreciated, Holmes, but in this instance probably misplaced. As baths go, this one appears relatively sanitary.
As rivers go, the Thames is cleaner than the Ganges, but I wouldn't swim in either. Point?
Point taken. Sanitary was perhaps not the proper word.
I wish to visit the baths, Watson, with or without Russell's permission.
Fine. Can I help? I would say he looks a rough customer.
Force is odious when subtler leverage will suffice. I'll request a refund on my olfactory senses if the hygienic standards of this place are above reproach. It shouldn't take long to confirm my suspicion. Hot and wet, a perfect breeding ground for mold. Pasteur would doubtless pay for samples of the captive bacteria.
His institute deals only in virulent and contagious forms, neither of which this is.
Perhaps, but you won't deny it is disgusting. Mr. Pratt has been found dead. He no longer requires you to protect his privacy. When did you last see him?
I can't rightly say.
Are any of Pratt's circle of acquaintances here now? How about Eldridge Whitney?
Can't really recall. I'm not in the recalling business.
If you don't mind, or even if you do, I'll canvass the other patrons.
I wouldn't, unless you'd like to visit the hospital.
Under ordinary circumstances, which these are not, I might respect your request. And just so we understand each other, your threat is offensive, unlawful, and, if you'll excuse me for saying so, laughable.
We'll see who laughs last, Mr. Fancy Talk. The gentleman will get a chill. Please turn the valve.
Just a modicum of your garden variety muck. What does this place have against regular applications of soap and water? I'm now ready to inspect the baths, Russell.
No, you're not. You've no intention of joining up.
Listen, you muscle-bound twit. Neville's is in violation of numerous tenets in the Code of Public Health. Mold, mildew, common filth are rampant. Let us pass, or I'll report these unsanitary outrages forthwith, and you'll be out of business by this evening.
You made your point. I'll try to keep it clean, but there's too much for one person to do. Can't find any decent help. I'll accompany you. And remember, don't be bothering my clients. You can't walk about unsupervised, mister.
The name is Holmes, Mr. Russell, and I not only can, I have done. You have been singularly unhelpful, Russell. Do you know nothing of Pratt?
I ain't seen him in days. Now, no more liberties on my patch. I've got a reputation to protect.
In a moment. How about Eldridge Whitney? Does he use these premises?
No. Beg your pardon, Mr. Whitney, sir. As for you, that tears it. Bloody foreign tricks! Get me out of this muck!
Bujitsu is hardly a trick, Mr. Russell. Watson, make certain Mr. Russell remains aquatic. I've had enough of his interference.
With pleasure, Holmes.
A fortuitous meeting, Mr. Whitney. I am Sherlock Holmes. After you've replaced my towel, you might ask if I care. Considering your position, Whitney, you might curb your impertinence long enough to discover my purpose. Your purpose is of no interest. If you continue to harass me, I will take steps. Naked and enervated? Excuse me, but I doubt your capacity for action. As your attendant is occupied, let's talk about the formula missing from your reading room. That is a ministry matter. You have no claim to my cooperation, and your brother's obvious indiscretion may be actionable. My brother's judgment is not likely to be challenged. Yours, on the other hand... Save your threats. They are ignorant and rude. I speak only on the authority of my superiors, of whom you are not one. At the moment, you are not accused, Whitney. I'm simply trying to gather information. You'll get none from me. I know my rights and my duties. I'll ask you once to reconsider your intransigence. You waste your breath. No, my speech perhaps, my patience certainly. My brother nearly killed, and you stand on some inflated idea of your own importance. You fatuous twit. We'll see whose breath is wasted. You will not trifle with me, Whitney. Tell me what you know.
I recognize extortion when I see it. This is not a joke. I'm having trouble breathing.
You'll have to do better than state the obvious.
I had no part in the initial disappearance. It was not my responsibility. I do my job very well. I know nothing about this.
But if pressed, innocent as you are, you might speculate about the guilty party?
Yes. Question the ratchet woman, the Char. She is an internationalist. Have no idea why she's kept on. Could you turn down the heat?
A small taste of Hades for you, I should imagine. Go on.
Many times I've mentioned security is very lax, very slipshod. She could walk off with anything. The heat, Mr. Holmes, could you?